closer to advancing directly to Championship Sunday.
This is going to be a battle. Both teams loaded up. Only one can advance, of course. SSG, definitely great start to Swiss. KCorp, good start, I'd say. I'd use the word good because the win against James Cheese wasn't as convincing as a lot of people thought it would be. And you start to wonder if maybe the blue wall might have some holes in it. SSG is here to find out.
Space Station Gaming, a team that, again, they mentioned it on the desk, they've been so close. They get the early goal here. It's Arsenal, and that is the last guy that KCorp wants to give any momentum to.
Look at this, Arsenal just wraps it around. KCorp very aggressive off the start, but Arsenal just rolling all the way through, catches the defense lacking and punishes them for it.
When Arsenal starts going, when he starts barking, it just feels like there's another player on the field. Exotic shot, almost dumped in behind Daniel, but he put the brakes on, made the stop, and now Exotic trying to throw one around to get the demolition on Daniel at least. Here comes Itachi. Vatira waiting for a rebound. He'll take his shot, it's up high, double, no, and Exotic will get there.
And look at that, KCorp with time, with KCorp with space. You saw the desk allude to it. This is just straight up dangerous as Vatira, again, that individual play, it forces Arsenal in the air. He was already low on boost, and it just allows Exotic to be able to follow up with an easy shot, a little bit of panic there on the defensive end for SSG, and just like that, we're back tied up as the first minute concludes.
And still only one goal separates Exotic and Vatira on the season. Not anymore. They both have 80 apiece as this duo has been deadly.
Put a hand up. No, put two. It's still not gonna stop that shot from Exotic. So much power behind that. KCorp, 2 back-to-back goals. What a way to turn around the start of this game.
After that previous series, way back, it feels like forever ago, in round 1, this would constitute an offensive explosion.
Those bumps.
And I think we kind of knew, Daz, even though KCorp certainly has the reputation of a lockdown defensive team, this was not going to be a low-scoring series. This was going to be a shootout. And right now, KCorp's doing most of the shooting.
SSG sent too many forward. Daniel, he's small and alone, and that ball gets played right past him. It's as if no one was in the net for SSG. What is going on? 3 goals here from KCorp. Again, back to back to back, they're on this run. And SSG, I mean, the start there seems strong. You saw some moments of confidence from them, but that's exactly what it was, just a moment. Then KCorp said, okay, we're back in control. Thanks for warming us up here.
Arsenal got that early goal, and Exotic took it personally. A natural hat trick for Exotic in response. Vatira keeps that in the zone. And Itachi unable to center for Exotic, but Space Station could not breach the center line. Daniel will try out of the corner, and Exotic's there to stop him. Vatira chased into the corner, and there's the good tandem defense out of KCorp. Again, you can beat one, but it's that second and third man that have been unbeatable at times for KCorp. LJ racing forward here, and Exotic did just enough and just feathered that by Arsenal. Itachi avoids 2, and KCorp are going to tightrope their way out of danger.
Yeah, it's looking a little uncomfortable for Space Station on the offensive pushes. Again, you saw Arsenal go up just a whiff on that back wall when they desperately need something here, as time is not really on their side. They are down by 2, still 2 minutes left, but KCorp seem to be building up while SSG seem to be kind of falling off. I say that, and LJ gets one through, and you start to need to see something like this. LJ, great individual touch, and then that follow-up so quick. Exotic tried to see if he could close the distance, but LJ had it read all day long. Very solid individual effort.
And you know what that shot from LJ does as well? Exotic expecting to have all day to get up and challenge that. Now he knows he's got to be a little bit faster, and maybe he'll be a little more hesitant as the last man back. Itachi over top of Daniel, and he'll drop it down for Exotic, who almost added another, but Arsenal sweeping across with a save. Demolition there takes out Vatira, And LJ couldn't run onto one. He was oh so close.
Yeah, he's playing that low and just barely. I mean, Vatira misses for one, and then of course LJ doesn't make contact because of that type of positioning. So it kind of sacrifices a little bit of the offense, but SSG starting to ramp up. You see them, you really push the ball into KCorp's box, but Vatira quick to turn it around, put a shot on. Daniel will get credit of the save. Just need to see whether or not KCorp let this game slip away the same way SSG did, as Space Station Gaming still fighting to get back into this one. They've got a minute and some change, but Daniel equalizes. He pulled them out, they took the bait, and he caught him slacking.
Everybody shoots, everybody scores, all knotted up. One goal from Arsenal, one goal from LJ, and now Daniel getting in on the act. So it's been exotic on the KCorp side, everybody from SSG involved. Here we go. Coming up on the final minute, 2-on-1 advantage, and Arsenal cuts through the attack and makes the stop. Here goes Exotic now. Second touch coming from the ground, did not get there. LJ and Daniel kind of doubled, and it's an opportunity still for KCorp now inside the last minute. Vatira waiting, he'll collect, and he'll score!
He only needs a moment. That's it. This one, you can watch how this, right on the hood, Vatira sees exactly where it's going, sends it high into that left side, because he knows LJ won't be able to get there in time.
So Vatira continuing to get involved on both ends of the field. If you had an early candidate for season MVP around the world, he'd be at the top of the list. Daniel got the shot to go! Unreal!
Daniel woke up.
Oh my goodness.
That power, that read. He's the only one who can do it. Top right slot from Daniel. There's 8 goals this game. Every goal KCorp has scored has been assisted. Every goal SSG has scored has not been assisted. And they are just shooting lights out here in game 1.
4-4, and this is the appetizer. Arsenal couldn't get through. Good stop by Exotic, but he doesn't have anything else. Arsenal, no. Daniel, yes! He's done it again! A hat trick!
And there's the first assist. Great stretch there from Arsenal. And right over Itachi. He's so awkward, so uncomfortable. And Daniel knows it. Lower to the right side is the placement. And even though SSG have been shooting lights out, it's just been the placement has been the biggest factor here to get it past KCorp. My goodness, 9 goals. Will we see 10? Then the final 10 seconds flash on your screen.
Vatira's gonna chase this one down, but he couldn't get to it. Arsenal behind Itachi. Full tank of boost, but he couldn't get under this. Just barely did,
Still
with
up.
no time on the clock.
Exotic!
Daniel
Exotic!
handed it to Exotic, and Exotic made him pay!
We got the 10! Look at the stretch from KCorp all the way down the field. They tried to put a hand up. They tried to stop it, but the blue wall stands tall and overtime in game 1.
And Chrome just giving an extra consolation there to Daniel, trying to get him focused on the next play. Here is the next play, and Exotic's there to stop him again. Oh, man. Exotic. Oh, just narrowly saved away. How about the performance out of Exotic in this game? 4 out of the 5 goals, he assisted on the other. Here goes Itachi and LJ with a save.
Back pass, Arsenal's gonna pick that one up, but Itachi's in the air, so's Exotic. Daniel has to be careful. Great first touch, but Vatira able to read the follow-up. LJ, even in an uncomfortable spot, gets out into space, but KCorp still pushing. Good touch there from LJ, but they're not done yet. Exotic, if no one's going, he's gonna push that into the back of the net. Good save out from Daniel. That pressure that KCorp is able to put on SSG sometimes looks suffocating.
Decent first ball from LJ, but it's intercepted by Vatira, and he's done it! 6-5, KCorp takes game 1 as Vatira pops off.
He's popping off, he's roaring! As he takes that one, flip reset like you said, Stack. That's one of the best players in the building, and he shows you why. I mean, we saw highlight after highlight in a single game, 11 goals. Daniel with that beautiful read, Vatira, though, saying, hey, you're not the only one who can really show up, as he takes the spotlight, and he takes that game for KCorp.
18 shots from KCorp. Exotic with a dozen of them.
12. Oh,
that is absurd. I mean, yeah, you'll see somebody get to 12 shots in an overtime if it goes 6 minutes. That went less than a minute. And at the end of it all, this wild 6-5 roller coaster ride of Game 1 goes to Exotic, Vatira, and Itachi. KCorp, the blue wall, survives Game 1.
Yeah, I mean, I said it going into this one, we wanted to see if the blue wall had holes. Yeah, they did. They definitely did. They gave up 5 there to SSG, but it wasn't without also outputting that same amount of offensive energy. I mean, Exotic starting the game off with a hat trick, but all his goals were assisted. KCorp were playing like a team. Meanwhile, SSG, they started the team plays a little bit late. Again, there was a lot of solo efforts there from them. But when it came down to the overtime, it really just showed you, again, KCorp, twice that game, went on a couple goal runs, at least scoring 2 back-to-back goals. SSG has to get better at shutting those down. We cannot see another game like this. Someone is going to break.
That, by the way, the second time we've had 11 goals in a game at an RLCS LAN. That ties the record that was set at the Season 8 World Championship. Knights and Canberra Havoc. I'm sure CJ just had a smile as Vatira scores early on in Game 2, and we may have another shootout on our hands.
And look, this confidence from Vatira is great. You see him on the sidewall as the play starts, has 30 boosts. Immediately, once he knows that Exotic has that ball, full trust, turns in, even after the demo, goes all in on the play. It works out so well, but LJ had that carry. Looked very threatening at first. SSG trying to nullify that early goal, but KCorp still on a solid run, building where they left off in Game 1.
And I dare say, by the way, yes, sure, 6-5, you would think, okay, defense abysmal, whatever. Defense wasn't half bad in that first game. This goes across and set right back once it came by Itachi. Another one lobbed in, and Exotic has that away. Daniel turning and waiting. Can he get up to this? He sure can, and Exotic just barely got to the backboard in time.
And you can see like how necessary that is. Just knowing that, hey, Daniel might have that, and I don't think we want to take the risk to find out. Just showing, again, the respect, but Exotic, does he have the read on this? Does, drop straight down. Itachi gets there, but not before it's cut off by Space Station Gaming.
Oh, Exotic. He had Vatira there with him as well. Now they got to scramble back with Itachi kind of trying to hold the line, and Arsenal.
It's an open lane.
One under. LJ. Arsenal got the last touch. LJ rolled it through, and we're tied.
Arsenal able to pull out all of KCorp, and look at that. Straight over to the right side is LJ. Is a little off target. Arsenal makes sure that one goes into the back of the net. SSG able to bring things back in this game. Again, the way this ball is moving so much into the air here, as both teams using that as those individual mechanics to try to break down the opposing defense.
Intended back pass has been intercepted, and the demolition, Vatira couldn't finish. Itachi's floater is denied, and KCorp, we got to feel like they need to have that one back. They should have scored, they didn't, and now Arsenal throwing one over towards Daniel, who's got boost and ball, but only for a moment. Arsenal there, so is Itachi. As we get near the halfway mark of Game 2, what else could be in store? Arsenal tried to center that for LJ. He'll settle for a demolition of Exotic. That's probably the guy you want to take out after his monstrous Game 1. And dropped down is sent away by Exotic.
Tara trying to get downfield, but he bumps into Exotic. It could have been a strong counterattack for KCorp. Instead, this ball will settle in the midfield. And you're starting to see a little bit of risk here on both sides. I mean, mainly for KCorp, those double commits could be very costly. We know SSG can catch them. Can LJ catch that one? No. Daniel won't be able to follow this one up. We'll have to wait for this to get cleared into the midfield. And it's tense moments like that that can make the difference here in this game.
KCorp getting a little low on boost. A couple of boost steals in a row from SSG. That boost is not going to spawn for Vatira. Even though he's trying to wait, now it finally does. That's a great job by Exotic holding the line and delaying long enough for Vatira to get that boost. And now LJ up ahead, maybe a little too far. Exotic's there waiting. Inside 2 minutes. A much lower scoring affair than the opener. As Itachi up ahead to Exotic. Vatira waiting. And the pass didn't come out. It was a shot deflected away. Daniel has LJ over there, and Itachi with a save.
What a read. KCorp started that drive, and SSG literally took control. But this one, they don't have any control. It's all Itachi as he breaks the stalemate. You said it, Stacks. It's been very low scoring, but it hasn't been lacking in the tints department here. Just one solid touch making the difference there. KCorp now in control.
That's a great move Itachi put on Daniel, too. Daniel thought he could kind of wait for that to go a little bit wider, and Itachi quickly cuts in. 2-1 lead now for KCorp. Still a lot of time left in game 2 for them to hold on. This goes all the way out towards midfield. Itachi had to play it even further along. Vatira making sure to get that corner boost this time. SSG have been good about trying to starve them out, but not too much effect. Vatira with the double tap.
It's Vati! Again, forcing LJ to pop that up, says, thank you for the assist. I'll put the double in the back of the net. Even when you try to put a hand up, he'll just play around you. Wow.
Vatira's got 4 goals in this series, so too does Exotic. He had them all, of course, in that first game, did Exotic. This deflects out to the corner. Arsenal whiffed on it, and Itachi made him put the game away.
It's a slippery slope, and you can see exactly why. Daniel was waiting. He was expecting a pass over to the side from Arsenal. Arsenal, unfortunately, it's an all-in play for SSG to try to get back into the game. That whiff almost solidifies it. It's a 3-goal lead here. We would have to see a monumental offensive performance here for Space Station to get back into this game. But honestly, it might even be the defense that needs a little bit of work here, because I said it's a slippery slope and Space Station are sliding downward.
Monumental, mountainous, Herculean. That's about the effort that SSG would need right now to stop that man, Vatira. Vatira and Exotic, and then, I mean, Itachi, it's not like he's chopped liver here. He's got 3 assists. He's got a couple goals of his own. It just pales in comparison to the literal video game numbers that KCorp are putting up right now. Itachi couldn't get that one through, but with a 5-1 lead is going to prove inconsequential. Man, just goofy stat lines for all 3 of these KCorp players. Indirect off the ceiling, nothing there. Final countdown. Oh, might as well add another, as Daniel is trying to dribble up the rest of the clock here, it seems. And SSG are going to have to go back to the drawing board. They have a game that they feel like they had to have had in hand in game 1 that they give away at 0. KCorp makes them pay, and now they've got their foot firmly on their throat.
This goes back to what the desk was talking about in terms of taking down KCorp. Again, requesting that you got to be fast. You got to be in front of them. And you have to make them uncomfortable, not to give them a lot of space. And they said it. It's easier said than done, and you're seeing why. Because even though SSG could output 5 goals in a game, doesn't mean they can do that on a consistent basis. Same, though, can't be said for KCorp. This is 2 games now where they've scored 5 goals. First game, obviously, they scored 6. But it just kind of goes to show you how, in terms of, I mean, that game was great until we hit that minute 30 mark like you saw on the replay. Once that goal went in from Itachi and Space Station started to fall behind, they just kept falling. And now their backs are against the wall. We talked about the blue wall saying, hey, maybe there's some holes. They played a close game against James Cheese. No, they woke up. We should have been concerned when we saw Vatira roaring and flexing on the cams before this game got started.
You ready for top-level peak RLCS analysis, Daz?
No. But
no?
You're going to give it to me anyway.
I'm going to give it to you anyways. You're not going to beat many teams giving up 5 goals in regulation 2 games in a row. Here we go. Game 3 on DF8 Stadium. Something's got to change dramatically for Space Station Gaming, or they drop to 1-1, and KCorp goes from a perfect sweep to just an offensive annihilation of SSG.
Here comes the counter. Itachi will lead it. It goes straight to Vatira just as he planned, but the shot from Vatira not necessarily on. LJ, though, will get a big carry and gets a 50 win.
That's great confidence.
Showing, again, that ability to create chances there for Space Station, but Vatira is just excels in being able to get that ball out of the blue zone. And a crazy touch there from LJ to be able to make the save. Daniel stops the follow-up, and SSG hold on to survive the KCorp attack.
KCorp's attack is terrifying, and it should be for a lot of teams in this tournament. Vatira intercepted by Daniel, and he caught him napping. Daniel with the intercept. He had the soul read, and he ends the first minute of a lot of KCorp pressure with that goal to give him the lead.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the reads from KCorp when they were on the offensive push. Vatira thinks he has a solid touch there. Didn't expect Daniel to literally wait on his touch, say, oh, thank you for a free ball, and push it right in front of the net.
Exotic chasing this one down. Might have got a piece of that off of LJ. Daniel couldn't weave his way through. Vatira, another decoy play. I think KCorp does this better than anybody, and it yields another goal.
He said at the decoy play. Vatira, is he gonna go? Nope. Instead tries to go for the bump. LJ in an awkward spot. Arsenal has to make a touch on the ball, but Exotic, you're waiting to pick the pocket. Again, these KCorp attacks so deadly, and that man there, ready and waiting on any opportunity to get his shot at the net.
Again, the numbers just continue to impress. The Exotic double to set up Itachi. Vatira lagging behind the play just a little bit, but with the demo, he hit the crossbar, doesn't matter. Everything KCorp touches turns to gold. Itachi in on the act.
They're smiling, they're laughing. You see the demo, net wide open. Oh, whoa, whoa. A little bit of some misses there, and Itachi able to clean it all up. But the control, the level of control KCorp have right now, and the confidence they have is proving to be just so much more, so much greater than what Space Station Gamer are outputting here. That being said, SSG are not out of this game and not out of this series just yet. They still got plenty of time as Game 3 continues on. They got to stop some of these plays that KCorp are developing, though, because they are picking that defense apart.
It's not the case in reality, but it feels like KCorp is able to set these plays up in slow motion, given so much time and space, created by their clever patterns of the attack, as Arsenal and Daniel not quite on the same page. They can't move forward. Vatira can. What does he have up his sleeve this time? Gonna leave that for LJ to play it back to Itachi, and then Vatira just slowing it down just enough as Exotic gets in on the action as well. Then eats a demolition from behind, courtesy of Arsenal.
Oh, SSG though, all in that corner. A little scary, but Arsenal picks up the ball. Flick over to Daniel. Daniel can't make contact, but Exotic, he did have it covered. SSG trying to set up some offense. Arsenal got the fake, but he can't get the goal. Itachi's able to cover up on his teammate.
That's one that might haunt Arsenal as this weekend rolls on. If they can't come back here, and if they struggle to get into the top 8. Vatira, around 1. Everybody just leaving that corner boost like it's poison. And Vatira, another good win. So many. Exotic couldn't force it through. Vatira backflip and still managed to get to that ball first. Again, just KCorp can do no wrong as we get into the final 100 seconds. And Exotic does it again, make it a 6th spot for Exotic.
He just can't, if you give him a free shot like that, you gotta expect it to go in. You're putting a hand up, but he has so much space. He has so much time. He has the ability to do whatever he wants with the ball. Great work from Exotic, but Space Station Gaming are just giving the game. They're giving the series to KCorp right now.
This is unreal as Daniel will get back one more here. Great setup by LJ, and I don't think enough can be said about the confidence of LJ. No fear at all. He has so much confidence in his own game, able to set that one up and give SSG a shot here in game 3.
Confidence from LJ's big, and so was the confidence from Daniel. He picked up that back corner boost of KCorp and cut off the rotation. And it's things like that that you need to do against KCorp if you want to have a chance. Works out for them well. But now, can they do it again as time is ticking and it's not on their side?
LJ will leave that for Daniel, but he couldn't dive in. KCorp all over it. Looked like SSG tried to beat KCorp at their own game, and it did not work out. Daniel to the backboard. Waterfall down, and the defense combines to dismiss that effort.
Oh, goodness.
Still available, but Arsenal way back, and he had to be as a safety valve. Down to 50 seconds. Now Arsenal beaten there. LJ hesitated for a moment, and Daniel's got to pick up the scraps. LJ is downfield, but he can't do anything with it.
Instead, he gets demoed past middle, but Arsenal is not there. So it'll go back on the other way. LJ gets a piece of that ball, but he also gets taken out. So now Arsenal will go in. There's a demo on the play. Can Arsenal get this one in front? He can! Daniel goes all in! And Space Station got some fight left. We're back tied.
No A's, only G's for Daniel. 6 goals, no assists. 3-3, 24 seconds remain. And a similar story to game 1. LJ, just with the tail over to the defense. Nobody home on the opposite side. Boost not there for Exotic. But Tierra, no way he got to that. Down to 7 seconds before we go to another overtime, unless SSG have other plans. Daniel's shot denied. Arsenal can keep it up. LJ's there, and they had to be very careful. If Itachi won that cleanly, it could have gone back the other way.
They did. They took the gamble, but SSG has been taking the gamble this game, Stacks. If they play safe, KCorp are just going to play around them. They got to go for some of these risks. Normally, I'd say, be careful, don't play a risky game, but it's the only thing that's going to work here at this point. KCorp have just so much consistency that you got to think outside the box, and it's been working out so far for Space Station Gaming. Can they continue to play in this series is the question. This is a big OT.
But Tierra, Daniel had it red.
He's
over one, and that's enough! Daniel forces game 4!
Look at this read! Off the ceiling! Had the flip! They didn't think he still had the flip. Caught Itachi lacking. And you can see the adjustments. You can see how uncomfortable they're looking there on the blue side. But Space Station Gaming, that young man right there, Daniel, willing them back into this series.
7 goals, and it's just that from Daniel. A couple defensive lapses here and there. You go back to the end of regulation in game 1, and a touch that I'm sure he wishes he never made. But he's more than made up for it by keeping SSG alive in this series at the end of game 3.
It's been a great team effort. Even though Daniel has been able to score this, it hasn't been without help. And you had said it too, LJ being a big factor as he had to really just kind of like step up to be able to create opportunities. That confidence went a long way, and so did Arsenal. You see the assist there as, there it is, one more time. Itachi, not a chance. Not a chance on that one. And even though SSG won that, you see Chrome smiling, but the team's still locked in. They know they got a long way to go if they want to have a chance to force a game 5.
Another short overtime. This time it goes to SSG. And now after just a brief, maybe a little smile and nod and a fist bump, back to business. And meanwhile, across the way, KCorp got to be feeling like they let an opportunity slip by.
Fake kickoff.
No, fake kickoff. Rolled ahead, and Arsenal peeled off the play, realized Vatira had that, and this may blow up in their face. Tachi getting the initial shot, but LJ does clear the zone, so they try to get creative. Didn't quite work, but you like the creativity there from Chrome and SSG, a wily veteran coach in his own right.
Talk about this being a tall task for Space Station Gaming, but last season they became the first team to have multiple reverse sweeps in RLCS lands. So if anyone can do it, it's this SSG squad. But this KCorp team rarely gives up opportunities like that. They were really known for closing series out. I mean, we've seen crazy results in this major, Stacks.
Yeah, I mean, is there a better closer in the game than Vatira? We will find out, I'm sure, as this major and as this season continues on. Arsenal's right there. Indirect for himself. Daniel waiting. He'll come up for the shot. And Vatira had all the angles covered. Now LJ. What does he have up his sleeve? Got the pass away, but no shot getting anywhere near the net. That ball just played into space, and Arsenal can collect it. He won't be able to do much more with it. He's off the field for a moment. And Exotic, who's been, I guess, tame, maybe, would be the best way to describe it, but still leading in almost every category for KCorp in this series. Now Itachi deep into the corner, and Exotic is just going to wait for Arsenal.
Feels like KCorp are waiting for SSG. I mean, this start has been very much more on the defensive side of things. We know they have the offensive output, but I think that they don't want to stretch themselves too thin. Instead, let them pull Space Station Gaming out and then hit them with a strong counterattack. The problem is SSG continue to attack, continue to stay on the ball, and even when it's the other way, they maintain that possession.
Well, Daniel got around Vatira. That doesn't happen very often for anybody. Daniel down in front, and LJ couldn't get to it in time. SSG sent the house, and KCorp at least got a boost steal there. Maybe they can still punish them for it, but Daniel, a good stop, and LJ will collect, and SSG kind of wiped the sweat off their brow there. They got away with one.
I like the idea, though. You saw the ball go towards Arsenal, but still letting LJ stay on that. Let him lead the charge, try to create some offensive opportunities, as he has done so with his confidence over the course of this series. But, oh, man, great beat from Itachi putting that on the back wall. It'll be LJ once again to try to get SSG downfield. It's been a very, considering how this series has gone, this is the most quiet game we've had so far. No one able to get on the board, and less than 2 minutes to go in regulation.
Exotic to just lob one downfield. Yeah, a series where we've seen 6-5, 5-1, 4-3, just nothing separates KCorp and SSG.
Whoa,
pitch downfield is just high, and LJ barely ahead of Itachi.
That was a crazy bench, though. You're starting to see a little bit of creativity come out from both sides, but still no one able to break through, and it's getting down to a very tense moment. LJ going for the ground pinch, does find it, but it hits the post. Vatira doesn't have to work hard for that save at all. And SSG, the back pass, still trying to maintain possession, trying to not really give shot opportunities. There hasn't been many shot opportunities this game. Only one shot has been recorded, and it's been from Daniel.
Yeah, nothing's been allowed to get near the net. There have been plenty of attempts at goal, but from so far out, they don't register. This is lobbed ahead. Arsenal, can he get one more touch? No, Daniel will try and grab this in the corner instead. Trying to get that corner boost, and he did so. Across this goes. LJ, I believe he got a demo in there somewhere. LJ to center, no, it's not gonna work out. And Itachi stays low to avoid the dunk.
That's a strong challenge from Arsenal, very aggressive. And Vatira, though, wasn't able to read the bounce and do much with it. SSG has been going toe-to-toe, scrap for scrap with KCorp. They've had the ball on the end of the blue wall, and that blue wall has been holding on, not letting shot opportunities go through. Again, it's been 2 shots to 0, though. KCorp have not shown any offense this game at all as the final 10 seconds of regulation count down.
What a bizarre finish to this series.
No!
Oh, it's far down and somehow not in. How did that possibly stay out? We go to overtime after KCorp had to have felt like they had it.
The series was in the bag. That just needed to go in, nothing flashy. Oh, a little bit of mistakes. Exotic's up, and it's blocked out by LJ. We went from no shots to what seemed to be the most clearest one, but that one will hit the back of the net, and KCorp will finish the job finally.
Who else but Exotic with his 7th goal of the series to go with a trio of assists, and the blue wall 2-0. And as the desk mentioned, Vatira matches his former squad. You've got Moist at 2-0. You've got KCorp at 2-0. And you've got a spicy upper rounds tomorrow.
You do. You definitely do. As, you know, teams walk around, say GG's. That ending was odd. I'll say that much.
Well, I mean, the teams combined for what? 17 goals in the first 2 games. Yet another 7 in game 3. And then game 4 kind of ends with a whimper. Just 1-0. That's it.
I mean, we saw KCorp start the attack. It was almost as if they were waiting to activate. And once they did, SSG was confused. They were like, "What? Wait, what's going on? You guys have been doing this all game. We were used to having the ball on their own half." And once you saw that attack come on for KCorp, that's when you saw, again, that breakdown, as it's been so very tough for SSG to really kind of get in control over the course of this series. As we take a look at the replays again, plays like that from Vatira were one of the main reasons KCorp were out on top, but it wasn't without some fight there from Space Station Gaming.
A long day ends with a main event that, even though it did not reach Champions Field, you have to feel like it absolutely delivered. Just a roller coaster of emotions, haymakers back and forth, and at the end of it all, Leafex standing by to talk to KCorp after a great win.
That's right, a great win, maybe a bit stressful too there. SSG held off, but at the end of the day, it's KCorp. And joining me, Itachi, talk about that. You guys must be tired after that.
Yeah, it was a really tough series. Like, it was weird. We won 3-1, but yeah, we could have finished 3-0, but like, we'll do better tomorrow.
We'll do 3-1's not good enough for them. Just 3-0s across the board, right? Now, I want to know coming into this, obviously, across the board, you're pretty much the favorites for this whole thing. Do you guys feel any extra pressure being the favorites? Do you just kind of like push that to the side and ignore it?
No, we put it to the side. Like, we work about that. Like, we really don't care about we are the seed 1 or not. We are just going to smash everyone. Even if we're seed 1, 6, 16, we don't care. We just play and we stay in our bubble, and that's it.
Well, I want to know then, what is that bubble? What makes you guys so good in your own opinion? In your eyes, why are you dominating everyone else? Is it because you're so focused?
Yeah, it is. We're really focused, and also because our way of playing is really cool. We play together all the time. Like, no one is playing alone. We all play for each other, and that's why we're playing that well.
Now, I want to know right now, because we've seen G2 go 0-2 earlier. You guys just stomped over SSG. They put up a fight, but obviously you came out looking like the better team and winning. Do you feel like Europe definitively is the better region at this point, or do you think it's still going to be kind of close?
Now, for me, clearly EU is clearly like way better. Like, I know I know Oxygen, I know Liquid. Like, I know how they play. I know they are really solid. And even though I couldn't see much of NA yet, but like, for me, we're like, EU is way more talented than NA, and right now is way better.
Those are some definitive words. I'm going to give you a couple more then, because you guys have a lot of fans out there that support you guys to the end. Like, and they're loud, and I know they're going to be loud this weekend as well. Any shouts just before we get to the weekend, what they can expect from you guys?
We're going to give our 100%. Thank you for the support, everyone. Merci beaucoup. We will try our best to play as the best as we can do, and to bring the trophy maybe.
Hey, so far it's looking good. Congratulations on the victory here. You're looking good so far. There's